Night arrives slowly in Verona. It does not fall. It gathers. It begins as a faint deepening of color in the sky, a slow shift from soft blue to a more velvety shade. Street lamps flicker into life along the river, one after another, until the Adige is traced with a broken line of warm light. You step out onto a narrow street, paved with old stones. The air is cooler than it was in the afternoon. It brushes your face and carries with it the scent of damp stone, distant water, and something faintly floral that you cannot quite place. You stand still for a moment and let your eyes adjust. The buildings on either side of you are tall and close, their facades painted in worn shades of ochre, terracotta, and pale cream. Shutters rest, half closed. A single window is lit above, and inside you glimpse the edge of a curtain and the shadow of a plant on a sill. Somewhere not far away, a door closes with a soft thud. A voice laughs once, then falls quiet. After that, there is mostly silence. You begin to walk. Your steps land gently on the smooth stones. They have been polished by the weight of many lives before yours. Here and there, you notice small dips in the pavement where countless feet have stepped in the same spot. The street curves slightly, and you see at the end of it a suggestion of openness. The noise of the day is gone now. No traffic, no rush, only the soft hum of a city that has decided it is ready to rest. You reach the end of the street and the world opens. The river is there, wide and steady. The Adige. Its surface is dark, but not black. It holds the color of the sky and the glow of the lights. The street lamps along the embankment pour liquid gold into the water, and the current stretches those reflections into long, trembling paths that drift downstream. You walk toward the stone railing and rest your hands on it. The stone is cool and slightly rough beneath your fingers. You can feel small cracks and uneven patches where time has broken the edges and the air has smoothed them again. You breathe in deeply. The air near the river feels different. It is fresher, cleaner, but also heavier with a quiet presence, as if the water itself is listening. You let your gaze follow the line of the river. Upstream, the lights grow smaller and blur into a gentle haze where the city thins. Downstream, they bend with the curve of the river and disappear behind a bridge. You stand there for a while, saying nothing. You do not need words. Your thoughts slow. They stop trying to run ahead. They simply float, like leaves on the current. After a time that is hard to measure, you push yourself gently away from the railing and begin to walk along the riverbank. At first, your steps follow the flat line of the path, but soon the street turns and leads you toward a familiar shape. Ponte Pietra. From here, the bridge looks like a low arc of warm light, its stones glowing softly beneath the lamps. The reflections, gathered beneath it, move gently, folding and unfolding like a slow breath. You approach the foot of the bridge. There are no cars now, no crowds, just a quiet span of ancient stone waiting patiently in the night. You step onto it. The stones beneath your feet are smooth and slightly uneven. Some hold shallow hollows in their centers. Some tilt a little to one side. You feel them all through the soles of your shoes. As you walk toward the center, the sound of the city behind you fades. The river below becomes louder, but still calm. It whispers. It does not roar. You reach the middle and stop. From here, the view is different. You can see both sides at once. On one side, the curve of the river bends around the city, its banks lined with houses and trees. Windows glow in clusters, and balconies hold small shadows of chairs and plants. On the other side, the hill rises, crowned with Castel San Pietro. Its walls and towers are lit by warm light, resting above a dark line of cypress trees. You rest your hands on the low wall and lean forward slightly. The air is cooler here, more open. You can feel it move across your face and along your arms. Below, the water moves in slow patterns. It carries fragments of light, stretches them, breaks them apart, and gathers them again. The reflections look almost alive. You listen. There is the soft rush of the current against the bridge supports, a faint sound of fabric moving in the wind somewhere behind you, the distant call of a bird that has not yet decided to sleep. You stay like this for a long moment. Your breathing falls into rhythm with the movement of the water. In that rhythm, there is no hurry. There is nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to prove. Only this moment, only this night, only this river. Eventually, you straighten and continue walking. On the far side of the bridge, a stone path begins to climb. It is not steep, but it rises gently between buildings and then along the slope of the hill. You follow it. The ground beneath you changes from wide stones to narrower steps. The walls beside you grow closer for a while, then open to small terraces where the city lights gather in pools. Soon, the sounds from below become muffled. The river is still there, but it sounds softer now, like a whisper from another room. You reach a small terrace where a low wall marks the edge. You step up to it and look out. Verona lies below you like a spread of warm light. The streets form soft lines. The rooftops overlap in gentle layers. The river curves through it all, holding the reflection of the lamps like a piece of sky laid flat on the earth. You can see several bridges from here. They look like strokes of light across the dark band of the water. Between them, the surface of the river is almost black, broken only by faint traces of movement. You sit on the low wall and let your legs dangle or rest against the stone. The rock is solid beneath you, steady and unmoving. A breeze comes from somewhere higher up the hill. It carries the scent of trees and earth and faint, distant food that someone is still cooking in a house you cannot see. You stay there for a while. You do not count the minutes. You do not need to. The city breathes below you, and the night holds you where you are. Your shoulders relax. Your hands rest loosely in your lap. Your jaw softens. Your eyes grow heavy, not from exhaustion, but from a gentle satisfaction, the kind that comes when nothing more is required of you. After some time, you stand again. The path continues upward, but you do not need to climb higher. You are not chasing a view. You are moving through a night that is already enough. You begin to walk back down. The steps feel different when you descend them. Gravity helps you. You take your time. There is no hurry. The buildings come close around you again as the path narrows. You pass a wall where vines cling to stone, their leaves dark and still in the night. A single lamp above a doorway is left on. It spills a warm, soft circle of light onto the stones. Next to the door, a pair of shoes sits neatly side by side. You imagine someone inside, already asleep, trusting the safety of this place. At the bottom of the path, the river greets you again. You return to the railing and walk along it, following the curve of the water. The lamps along this part of the bank are spaced farther apart. Between them, the path falls almost into darkness, with only the faint reflection of the sky and the river guiding your eyes. You move from one circle of light to the next, crossing patches of shadow that feel cool and comforting. After a while, the riverside gives way to smaller streets. You let the city decide for you which direction to take. You follow whichever way feels gentle. You pass under an arch. The sound beneath it changes, becomes more focused, more intimate. On the other side, you enter a short street, lined with houses whose walls are close enough together that you could touch both sides with your hands if you wanted. Several windows here are still lit. Behind one, you see the shadow of someone turning a page in a book. Behind another, a soft lamp sits on a bedside table, next to a glass of water, half full. Behind another, you see nothing but the pattern of the curtain, glowing the color of honey. You continue on until you reach a small square. It is simple. A tree stands in the center, its leaves dark against the dim sky. A bench sits nearby, empty. The square is edged with stone buildings, whose doors are all closed, but not in a cold way. They feel closed the way eyes close before sleep. You cross to the other side and find another street waiting for you. This one leads gently downward until you see the glint of water again in the distance. Another bridge is there, broader than the first, with low railings and fewer lights. You step onto it. Here, the sound of the river is softer, as if it has grown tired and is ready to rest too. You walk to the center and lean your arms on the railing. The metal is cool beneath your skin. You look out at the water once more. Its surface is calmer here, smoother. The reflections of the lamps form long, narrow lines that stretch almost unbroken from one bank to the other. Across the river, the city climbs the slope in gentle tiers. Some windows are still lit, but many have grown dark. The lamps along the streets remain, holding the shape of the city in warm outlines. You close your eyes. You listen to the murmur of the current, the distant sigh of the wind as it moves through a line of trees, the faint sound of a car far away that passes and does not return. Your mind becomes quieter. Thoughts that had been sharp soften and drift. You do not need to hold on to them. The night holds them for you. You breathe slowly, in and out, in and out. The world outside you and the world inside you begin to match. When you open your eyes again, the view has not changed, but it feels different now. Softer, more familiar, as if the city has stepped a little closer to welcome you. You push yourself gently away from the railing and begin to leave the bridge. On the other side, you find another path beside the river, one that guides you back toward the part of Verona where you began your walk. Your pace is slower now. Your body has grown heavier in a pleasant way, as if the earth has decided to hold you more firmly. The river continues its quiet journey at your side. Sometimes you can see it clearly. Sometimes it hides behind walls and trees, but you can always hear it, low and steady, like a calm breath that never ends. You pass once more by the place where you first stood at the railing. The stone remembers the touch of your hands, but it asks nothing from you. You start back along the narrow street of your beginning. The windows here are mostly dark now. Only a few small lights remain, and even those are softer, dimmer, close to going out. The noises have grown weaker too. A single step in the distance, the soft creak of wood, the whisper of fabric, then quiet. You reach the doorway from which you first stepped into the night. You pause for a moment and look back. The sky above Verona is deep and calm. A few stars dot its surface. The light of the city below makes them seem even more patient. You feel the weight of your eyelids. Your thoughts move slowly now, like the river outside. They no longer rush, they drift. You step inside. The air inside is warmer and still. The sounds of the outside world fade to a gentle murmur. You sit or lie down, letting your body find whatever position feels easiest. You notice the way your back settles, the way your shoulders sink, the way your hands come to rest without effort. Your breath continues its simple pattern, in and out, in and out. You do not need to do anything with it. You only notice it and let it be. Outside, Verona continues to rest. The bridges hold the night in place. The river carries the quiet onward. The stones keep their memories. Inside, your own night deepens, your muscles loosen, your jaw releases, your eyes close fully now. The last awareness you have is of calm, a sense that you are held by something steady and kind. Tonight, the city of Verona watches over you. Tonight, the Adige sings quietly beneath its arches. Tonight, you are safe, and sleep can finally take you. More Italian bedtime stories coming very soon. If you enjoyed this moment of calm, subscribe and like the video for more gentle storytelling.